When I'm training for professional competitions, men and women always ask me for advice. To women, I say push yourself harder than you ever have before and go beyond your comfort zone. Focus on your goals. Men, if I am willing to push myself to become Mr. Olympia in 2022, then I only have one thing to say to you. Bring your A game.
Here we go again.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hi everybody. How we doing today? We doing well on this Friday. because this is a story, in my opinion, that continues to unfold. I think that there are a lot of nuances to this story that we gonna find out later. That's just my initial thoughts about it. But let me go ahead and shout out these super chats. Thank you so much, guys, for kicking off the contribution today. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Nehemia said, this is from my 10-year-old who subscribed to you all. Thank you so much. Say hey to the baby for me. Thank you, baby. Thank you, Miss Luke Hastley. Thank you, Lamont Flemister. Thank you so much. So you need a Lioness Lounge where we can meet women like you. Keep going. You was made for this. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. This is greatly, greatly appreciated. And thank you, Miss Veronica. Thank you so much. I think there are a lot of nuances because folks are upset that Coach Prime is leaving Jackson State and going to Colorado. So he's leaving an HBCU and he's going to a non-HBCU university to coach. Okay? He's been recruited to come help what I understand to be a struggling football program. And I guess that they're hoping that Coach Prime can come along and turn that program around for them. Now, I got my perspective in all of this. Now, I'm more of an NFL girl. I don't really get into collegiate football, so I don't know much about the teams themselves, they win-loss records or any of that. But I know that supposedly Jackson State was honored and happy to have Coach Prime coaching their team and being basically in charge of their program. Okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to read a couple of stories, which in my opinion doesn't really cover all of it, but I'm going to read 2 articles about it, and it's going to lead me into how I want to discuss this today. Okay? So what I'm going to do is let me share my screen a little bit. Okay. Let me share my screen. All right. So here, let me read this article. Hopefully you guys are able to see this. Let me try to make it a bit bigger. We're going to make it super size for everybody to see. Okay. Now, why Deion Sanders is going to Colorado. Jackson State coach, first HBCU coach to jump to Power 5. Okay. Deion Sanders has become one of the most discussed coaches in college football during his tenure at Jackson State. It reached a fever pitch when he got number one recruit Travis Hunter to flip from Florida State, and it has continued throughout the seasons as several high-profile coaching jobs have opened. Sanders has found a suitor in Colorado. CU Athletic Director Rick George announced Saturday night that Sanders has been hired as the Buffalo's new head coach. The expectation is that members of Sanders' JSU coach staff will join him in Boulder as he becomes the first HBCU coach to jump directly to a Power 5 program as a head coach. Okay. Sanders informed the team of his move after Jackson State's Southwestern Athletic Conference Championship gained victory over Southern. He indicated that he will coach the Tigers in the Celebration Bowl against Mideastern Athletic Conference champion North Carolina Central on December 17th in Atlanta. Sanders is taking on a project with Colorado because he is taking over a team that went 1-11 this season and hasn't won a bowl game since 2004. That's a pretty dismal team. Okay. Colorado is far removed from its powerhouse days of the 90s, but Sanders has proved to be one of the most adept recruiters in the country. Being at a Power 5 school should only increase his recruiting power. But why would Sanders go to a program that is so down? After he didn't go to Auburn, after that job opened up, it seemed as if he could have comfortably stayed at Jackson State. The Sporting News looks at why he's making the move to Boulder. Why is Deion Sanders leaving Jackson State for Colorado? Sanders has said that one of the main reasons he would leave for a P5 school is to elevate his coaching staff and get them more opportunities, which makes sense to me. Now listen, I want y'all to listen carefully at what he's saying here. I'm going to have to entertain it, Sanders said in October. Straight up, I'd be a fool not to. Let me tell you something. I got a few people on the staff that have coached in professional football, few people that matriculated from high school, and some that were already in college. I think my highest compensated coach might be $125,000, something like that. Am I a blessing to him or am I holding him back? I really have to consider those things because these are my guys. I wouldn't be who I am without these men. And I've got to make sure I'm doing what's best for them at all times. Going to Colorado would certainly be a boon for Sanders' assistants, particularly if they're successful in Boulder. Sanders did incredible work recruiting for Jackson State. His outspoken personality and seemingly genuine commitment to player growth has helped to make Jackson State an attractive option for 3 to 5 star recruits. By going to Colorado, Sanders adopts a legacy program that's looking for a return to glory days. In a lot of ways, he's running parallel to Matt Rule at Nebraska, a program also looking to recapture success from which it is far removed. Sanders' pitch can be easy. I'm rebuilding this program and I want you to be part of it. It's like getting in on the ground floor. It's about getting the program's prestige back while building a new legacy. Money. This has to be addressed. Yes, Sanders seemed committed to the growth of those around him, but this is the same man who once said he would have asked for so much money from the Lions, they'd have to put me on layaway on draft day. That was over 20 years ago, but Sanders' stock as a coach has never been higher. The difference in pay from SWAC school to a Power 5 school, far from negligible. Sanders no doubt has a big enough nest egg that this didn't have to be the basis of the decision. It's not about a bag. It's not about a bag. Sanders told his Jackson State player, I've been making money a long time and I ain't nowhere near broke. So it's not about a bag. It is about an opportunity. So he's telling us something. Just that statement, pop quiz to my chat. Just that statement alone. What value system is he telling his players that he's in? What is he telling? What is he telling his players? Okay. But it would be naive to think it didn't inform it. As soon as Sanders secured Travis Hunter, it was clear he was a recruiting force. Of course, a rebuilding P5 school would push for him. Only time will tell if Sanders will provide the boost the Buffaloes are seeking. The outcome would depend in part on whether the powers that be are willing to invest in a program beyond Sanders. By going to the Pac-12, Sanders is also pitting himself against the likes of Oregon, Utah, and Washington. The competition is going to be much tougher. That's something Sanders will have to reckon with immediately. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing real quick. Okay. Thank you. Swing Out Museum said, please leave their jobs for people leave their jobs for new opportunities every day. Who hasn't changed jobs? Let them cast the first stone. Who would turn down $5 million for 300,000? Exactly. I found it to be interesting. I found an article that talked about how the players saw it. So let's take a look at that article. Okay. How his players saw this. Jackson State players sound off on Deion Sanders' decision to leave HBCU after fan backlash. Deion Sanders has been on the job at Colorado for less than a week, but he's already shaking up the college football world. Sanders took the Colorado head coaching job last Saturday, leaving FCS program Jackson State after 3 seasons at the helm. But the move didn't come without controversy. The gregarious Buffaloes head coach has come under scrutiny for a number of reasons. Sanders allegedly pulled the scholarship of at least one former Colorado commit. He's already told current Colorado players to enter the transfer portal, knowing that he's bringing baggage with him, and it's Luis. But perhaps the biggest issue among some has nothing to do with Colorado at all. Sanders has dealt with significant criticism for leaving the nation's top historically black college or university after previously talking about elevating those programs. Others, including HBCU grad Shannon Sharpe, are defending him. Okay, so are Sanders' former players at Jackson State. Zion Olojide, am I saying that right? Of Complex Sports spoke with a number of Coach Prime's former players at Jackson State, asking them how they felt about him leaving. The players unanimously backed their former coach. I don't understand why people don't see the positive. Senior wide receiver Isaiah Bolden says, Coach Prime came out of his pocket. This is important. Coach Prime came out of his pocket to build a great HBCU locker room. He did what he said he was going to do. He put HBCUs on the map, in my opinion. Defensive end Jason Mercier says that most of the team knew that Sanders would likely take a big job at some point. The way I look at it was this has been going on forever. I just felt like this was a big deal to black folk, but to PWIs, these changes have been going on forever. Like myself, I came to JSU from a coaching change. I already knew what it was already. All I know is when I heard he did get the job, I was happy for him because that's big. While linebacker Juriant Davis says the criticism isn't unfair and overblown. Social media gonna be social media at the end of the day. People gonna bash you. I look at it like this. If you don't got nobody talking about you, you ain't doing something right. It's a lot of people like Shannon Sharpe and Stephen A. Smith that they talking about it. I just know it's pros and cons to everything. We knew as a team the world was gonna blow up. I knew the culture is shocked right now, especially Jackson State culture. Some people look at it like a hit to the face, but some people look at it like a good thing. Even being here from January, he's changed the culture a lot. A lot of people might look over that as far as the locker room. He used his whole salary to put that money into the locker room. Coach Prime didn't use Jackson State. He had to elevate it. If Coach Prime left 10 years from now, people would probably still bash him. At the end of the day, Sanders is leaving whether people like it or not. But it's clear that those players he left behind don't harbor any ill will towards the coach. I'm not going to come back to you. I'm going to flip to this last thing that I want to read. These are rumors. Now, mind you, I want to be very clear. It's a rumor, the rumor mill. Rumor, Jackson State allegedly misused football funds, stole money from Sanders and players. There is a major rumor going around that is painting Jackson State in a bad light. A viral post from social media is accusing people at Jackson State of misusing funds and basically stealing from Deion Sanders and the players on the team. According to my source, JSU in the hot seat for misuse of football funds. Individuals are stealing money from football program by moving it to general funds and scholarships, basically stealing from Prime and players. 80% why Deion Sanders leaving. This will be the next breaking news, and you heard it from me first. The posts continue more in depth on Twitter. Okay, saying the plot thickens. Let's run it down. JSU put in Deion's contract that after 30,000 ticket sales, he would receive a percentage of the sales. That didn't happen the whole time he was there. Ticket sales got missing. Deion, the football team, nor the staff saw any of the money. There was a lucrative TV deal in place that Deion wanted to get, but the university did not. Deion, with his own money, built a new locker room, a tennis court. All the new designs, Deion pocket. The new players lounge, Deion. He also used his own money to feed the players. All of the fancy meals you saw the players eating, Deion. When JSU went to the Celebration Bowl last year, the school didn't give any money back to athletics. Deion used a lot of his personal money to fund numerous things around the campus. The university did not help. The president wanted his name in the headlines as much as Deion. Deion wanted to coach the Celebration Bowl this year. JSU president said no, and the Celebration Bowl is sold out. The jury is out on if he will or not. A last-minute offer was made for $1 million for Deion to stay, but he had to pay his staff out of that. There was no new offer made after the first year of success. Remember, this is all rumor and alleged. Deion Sanders was named Colorado football's new head coach on Saturday night following the Tigers' SWAC championship victory. The 55-year-old is in his third season as JSU's coach. He has compiled a 27-5 record with consecutive SWAC championships and berths into the Celebration Bowl. The Tigers head into 2022 Celebration Bowl with a 12-0 record. Also, they undefeated. Sanders will owe JSU about $300,000 for a contract buyout. Now, we're going to stop right there because I think that wonderfully kind of sums up the way in which I want to talk about this. Thank you once again, Swing Out Museum said amateur, professional, athletic players, coaches, assistants, etc. move around all the time. JSU existed before Prime and JSU will exist after Prime. Thank you. AE said, let us be real. They were stealing money. Facts. Let's talk about what this is really about. Because what do Jackson State want out of Deion? What they want that man to do? What do Jackson State, from the top, from the head brass, the president, all the way down to anybody else in that school, staff, or program, what do they want that man, that one man, to do? Because they claim that he's supposed to be there to help them. This is almost a microcosm of how black women want black men to save the community, but they don't do nothing but take from the person that's saving the community. Because there are a certain, we know that, and if let's just take it here for a second. We know that a lot of the young men that come through football programs and basketball programs and stuff like that, what are they the product of? What kind of home structure are they typically the product of? Not everybody, but a lot of them. What kind of family structure are they the product of usually? They're usually coming from single mother households, are they not? And what is the mentality of a single mother? It is typically entitlement. You're supposed to help me. Help me means you give me and I give nothing. Help me means you pour into me and you just get poured out. Help me means you come out of your resources. You come out of your time. You come out of your pocket. You come out of your energy. I don't know nobody that take $300,000 as a salary and give half of it or more back into the program itself. So we know it's not about he was coming to grift because he didn't use Jackson State. Jackson State was using him. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. Okay? He didn't come there with his hand out. He came there and they had their hand out. So he coached there for 3 years. He elevated the program. He mentored the young men. Seen plenty of clips of him talking to them young men as they entered into and was heading out of the program. Some of them headed to the NFL. Thank you, Swing Out Museum. Said, woo wee, the truth is flowing in here. Thank you so much. Some of them headed into the draft and things of that nature. And I have seen plenty of clips with Coach Prime talking to them young men in a very candid way about all of the things that they are going to face when they step out of them doors and step into that draft and step into that world. And he was coming to them as somebody who had experienced it, somebody who was successful in it, and somebody who retired from it. As a black man, he went through all of those channels. He went through the college. He went through the draft. He went through playing many seasons in the NFL at a high level of excellence. We call him prime time for a reason. Okay? If you ever remember watching prime time, you know why he's called prime time, right? Thank you, Dub Will. Said Prime paid all that money out of pocket, looked out for his assistants, put Jackson State and HBCU football on the map, and all that still wasn't enough. Go get them white folks money, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. See, we're actually winding it to something because I want to point out something. Because what it seemed like to me is that this is a sense of this entitlement that we talking about. That, and I'm going to say, black women like to come in and corrupt a system. And then they corrupt it with that whole handout welfare entitlement mentality. Thank you, Jay Bubba. So they also broke in his locker, stole his wallet and jewelry. He broke in his son's truck. Then someone was shot dead on campus the day before SWAC championship, and they expect him to stay. Exactly. See, this is the type of dysfunction. Thank you all for kind of pointing out all of the different nuances and all of the different incidents that have gone on while he was coaching there. The hood mentality, the lost value system mindset that is pervasive. See, what they wanted was to use prime time not to elevate them, not to make their program better, but to fund the foolishness that they like to do. Because let's just be honest about it. HBCUs are not known for their excellence in academics. We don't typically name, when we start naming the creme de la creme of universities based on their legacy and reputation of academic excellence, what do we usually name? What schools do we name? Put them in, it's two big ones. And then several other ones after that. Thank you once again, Swing Out Museum said, where are the fans and alumni with their donations to the college? Donations speak louder than complaints. You can't solve a problem with whining. Thank you. Thank you. See, when we start talking about, when we start talking about universities with a legacy of excellence in academics, we start talking about the Harvards and the Yales and the Princetons. That's what we start talking about. We don't necessarily start talking about the HBCUs in the same breath as that. Okay? We start talking about the Ivy League schools when we discuss universities that are known for the prestige of their academic excellence. Okay? When we think of Jackson State and all that kind of stuff, we start thinking about the marching band and how the marching girls come in. I see more footage of how the band and the march, the little dancing girls come in or whatever they call them. Every university got a different name. But they come in, that's a big deal. How the marching band come in and the music that they play. The foolishness part. And since so many of these students are products of single mothers, we know we got a bunch of hyenas that be behind the scenes whining and making stuff chaotic in the background. Because it don't got no structure. Because hyenas don't ever got no structure. They don't never got nothing that they are willing to do or that they ready to do or no structure that they falling under to make things better. They infiltrate an institution, a black institution, and then they destroy it and then they leave it to burn. The same thing happened with all of our schools. Like our public schools in the neighborhoods and stuff like that, what I mean. You take a look at the public schools in the hood and all of them single mothers coming in there running stuff. Them schools be out of control on every level. From the staff to the students to all of that. They did it to black homes. The institution of marriage, the institution of family, broke that down with foolishness. Broke down the churches. Call itself breaking down the masjids and the other spiritual institutions. Leave them to burn. Try to break them down. Get in, and act a fool and put their foolishness and chaos in places of leadership, places where it can really have a damaging effect. And then they do it with these HBCUs and stuff like that. Talking about stuff is for the culture. Without actually contributing positively to it. That has got single mother, black, hyena, female written all over it. We just want Coach Prime to come in here and spend his money. We ain't gonna pay him but pennies on the dollar to begin with. Because every time you turn around, a HBCU is broke. Every time you turn around, the HBCUs be broke. They cry broke. I've heard the horror stories. Thank you, Theo Johnson. I've heard horror stories from the alumni that have gone to HBCUs that go back and visit, things of that nature. And they talk about the deplorable condition of the school, the grounds, the dorms, the class. And the way that they talked about it, I said, shoot, that ain't no better than the Chicago public school system, the hood school. Them grounds be messed up, classroom be messed up, stuff be messed up, the building be raggedy. And sometimes it ain't got no heat. Sometimes it ain't got no air conditioning. Sometimes it ain't got, I said, what is that? It's the paint peeler. That kind of stuff. Thank you, Black Wizard. Thank you, sweetheart. Said this man cut the field's grass because the staff wouldn't. Brought attention to the water crisis. Got a championship. Ran drills with the kids after amputation of his toes. And they still mad. Better if he died doing all that. He a hero. Thank you. Thank you, Black Wizard. But I'm going to go to a commercial break because we're going to really come back and cook the mindset that is behind this foolishness. So after these messages, we'll be right back.
For over 2 decades, we focused on one philosophy, the 10 life values. A system that helps us examine our lives, our vision, our leadership. Our products and our services are exclusively for men, all men. The ones who teach and mentor our kids, maintain our livestock and grow our food, make and repair our products, saves us from catastrophe, and protect our nation. The 10 life values are woven into every product and service we create. Because at the end of the day, our vision is to see all men from every community equipped with the appropriate processes and the necessary tools to be excellent fathers and the best version of themselves they can be.
We back, and thank you, Mogul Maid said deplorable conditions, and they have no direction whatsoever. They wanted him to sacrifice himself, all too familiar, because that is all too familiar. Thank you, Average Bro. So we not gonna tell them about the mess the CSU used to do. Okay, Al Spooner, thank you. Say keep doing what you're doing. Folks need a counter perspective. Thank you so much. But before we get back to Coach Prime, we are going to have to get everybody back on their A game. Their A game. Their A game. We got to stay on our A game because Coach Prime is on his A game. And we got to make sure that all our brothers maintain on their A game. This is such an important product. This is a vital product for men. Definitely, because the second value on our 10 life value system is health. And what are you going to do if your health is bad? If you're not maintaining it, if you're not looking at it and being careful about it and monitoring it all the time? What A Game does is it helps to support the overall health for men. It supports their vitality. It supports their energy. It supports their strength. And it supports their libido by increasing the blood flow throughout his body. Men need all 4 of these categories addressed on a regular basis and in a very natural way. A way that is going to give him all of the positives that we just named, and none of the crashing, none of the long-term ill effects on his health, because this doesn't have any fillers. It doesn't have any inactive ingredients, and it doesn't have any artificial ingredients, and that is of the greatest import. When you're getting something like A Game that has 21 herbs, and these herbs are of the highest quality. They are of the best available quality on the market. When you have something like this that says it's gonna deliver, and you take it and it deliver on all promises and it hit on all cylinders, you can't name it nothing else but A Game. So if you want to become part of the A Game family, all that you have to do is click the link at the top of the chat, agameherbal.com, and please do not forget your 10% discount using the code Kendra10 so that you can get your A Game delivered to you ASAP. Thank you so much for the super chats as I was speaking. Thank you, Swing Out Museum. Thank you, Kosher Clinician. How are you, brother? So as a member of a HBCU and PWI, there are many differences, good and bad. As a therapist, I follow your work and would love to have a conversation. Keep up the good work, young lady. Do me a favor and please, someone put my email in the Chat for Kosher Clinician. And I thank you so much. Thank you, Alton Prayer. Said, greetings, Kendra. Men from other ethnicities and racial backgrounds, such as myself, really appreciate your content and great insight. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And thank you, Free Wi-Fi. Said Colorado didn't even have the money, but that didn't stop them. They said, we'll find the money. Never knew HBCU were so underfunded. They always crying broke. But before we get back to the cook, I want to give two special shout outs. The first shout out that I want to give is to an elder brother from Chicago, whom I respect very much. We had a very awesome and enlightening and educational conversation, and I want to be able to give him a shout out to Jaya. Brother Jaya, thank you so much. And I also want to give a shout out to Miss Lanice. She knows who she is, but I'm going to tell y'all who I'm talking about. Put a 1 in the chat if you recall the story that I did a little while ago on the young lady who said that she had gotten kidnapped and she had 2 kids and all of that whole story. Put a 1 in the chat if you remember that story. You remember me saying that. Okay. Yesterday evening, I got something to share with y'all. Yesterday evening, that young lady's mother contacted me directly. You understand what I'm saying? The young lady that I talked about, her mother contacted me directly. And that woman told me, thank you. Thank you for telling the truth. The Most High used you to expose the truth because there is a lot that's going on with my daughter. And I know that was her mama because she proved it to me. She proved it to me. Because I had to do a double take. I said, are you the mother of the young lady outside? She said, yeah, I'm her mom. She said, I didn't throw her away. I never abandoned her. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? So shout out to her. I want to say thank you to her once again for reaching out and having a wonderful conversation with her. My prayers to her and her family. Now, I owe y'all a bam, 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 bam. You gotta hit the like button, bam, bam. You gotta It's because we got 299 wonderful people who have hit the like button. Let's get the other 300-400 people to hit the like button so we can get into the algorithm. Okay, we gonna get back. One thing that Coach Prime said as his reasoning, he looked at his staff. He looked at the coaches underneath him, the coordinators, and, all of those men. Thank you, J. Roxanne. I'm a Grambling State University alumni. I've heard the rumors of misappropriation of funds involving JSU. If true, this would be a very bad look for HBCUs, and no other big-name coach would come to a HBCU. And see, thank you so much for that. Because you know why? Let me touch this for a minute before I go into what Coach Prime was talking about. Let me touch this for a minute. The reason why it's not too far-fetched to know that a HBCU might actually be pocketing money like that? Because look at Black Lives Matter. Now, what's Black Lives Matter got to do with HBCU, Crimson Cure? Because the mindset is the same. The mindset the same. Come in, get your money, roll out. Don't give nothing back. Don't put nothing back. Don't fill the cup back up. Just take. Take what you can, stuff it in your pocket, because we like to steal from one another. See, we get mad at the white man. Oh, y'all don't want to hear it today. We get mad at the white man. Oh, he doing this to us. Oh, he doing that to us. What do we do to each other? And usually when that kind of stealing and foolishness is going on, is usually a bunch of women behind it. And what they'll do is they will use they simps to be the face of it. They'll use they simps to be the muscle behind it, when they can't come to the front and do it themselves. And this is what's going on with these HBCU. This is what's happening with Jackson State. It's a lot of hyenas, and they are using the muscle of the simps to enforce foolishness. Tell me I'm lying. See, what we have here is a situation where people that are locked in the lost value system want to latch on to the success, to the spirit, to the resource, and to the energy of a person that's living in the 10 life value system. Because see, a person, the energy that a person generates when they live under the 10 life values is such a precious and powerful energy that it's really irresistible. Now, I'm going to give you an example of what I'm talking about using Coach Prime. He looked at the men that were under him and said, am I benefiting them or am I hindering them? In other words, am I being a corridor for currency? Is the door open with me? Am I the door that is open where the currency can go both ways? You know how some doors open both ways. Am I that where they can get benefit? Because I told them that I don't need that little $300,000. I don't need that. Okay? I don't need that. I'm not broke. And the reason that he's not broke is because he understands the concept of currency, not money, currency. That see, not only do I need to be benefited, I need to benefit others. Now, he was there benefiting the university. He was benefiting the young men. See, what he was doing was being the pseudo father figure for those young men, because a lot of they mammies had ran off their biological father. So the young men are coming into a program without no guidance from a man, without no order from a man. And Coach Prime was providing that. See, not only was he listen, let me tell you something. When we start talking about these 4 P's, y'all got to see what we're talking about here, because see, Coach Prime came to Jackson State providing. What did he provide? Not only did he provide monetarily, he was providing his masculine light, and he was generating stability for them. That is what he was doing. That I'm telling you, that provision not no joke. That provision is not no joke. See, he was coming out of his pocket with money, but he was also coming out of himself with his masculinity, his leadership. He was coming with his system, order, and structure. See, that was the real help that he was trying to give Jackson State. And the reason why he's leaving is because he understands they're not going to take his SOS. They don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Don't want to be saved. You don't want to be saved. You just want to use me. You just want to use me. You want to misuse me. What you want to do, you want to mistreat me. That's what you want to do. You want me to use all my money and you don't got to come up with nothing. You want to half pay me. You don't want to come up with nothing. You want me to come in and care about a program, and I just got here more than everybody else done cared about the program that been here 50 years. You want me to do it. You wouldn't even so much as have enough value as to clean the grounds and make sure everything was straight. I had to come in and exercise my leadership to do it. I'm telling you, that provision ain't no joke. You understand? It's not a game. Thank you, Alton Press. A funny thing, Kendra, is that no one has a problem with men from other racial groups take a better deal. However, it seems as if our American black brothers are to sacrifice no matter what at their own detriment. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Thank you once again, Swing Out Museum. Said somebody's ears is burning. They burning, baby. Thank you, Brother Jamil. Said the families that own the city of Jackson are pulling all the strings on this particular matter. No joke. Thank you, Frederick. Said Bill Withers. Keep on using me. Now, this is the same place that had a water crisis. Now, you can't tell me that Prime did not exercise any of his SOS to get that resolved. You can't tell me he didn't put none of his resources to try to get that resolved. So you just want to take. Now that's what black women do. That's what these hyenas do. That's the energy. We looking at hyena energy. Lost value system energy. Remember I told you yesterday, what they want is for you to struggle with them. Struggle to pull them out of the lost value system, and then they struggle to stay in it, and then you got to have a tug of war about get me out of the lost value system, but I don't want to go and get all that foolishness. This is what the community consists of. This is why black men walk away. Prime walking away, because you're not going to drain me like that. You are not going to have me coming up with system, order, and structure, and you dismiss it and spit in my face with it. You're not going to have me coming up with all kind of provision. I'm coming up with money. I'm coming up with masculine light. I'm mentoring boys. I'm talking to them like I'm their daddy and all that kind of stuff. I'm feeding them. I'm clothing them. I'm helping them. I ain't none of they daddy. I ain't laid down nan time and had nan one of them. Y'all had all the fun bringing them into the world, and then you bring them to me at 18, 19, 20 years old. And then you want me to be their daddy for a year, 2 years, 3 years. And instill in them all the masculinity that they supposed to know that you did not do. You ran their daddy off 9 times out of 10. Or you chose some dude that wasn't worth being a father, didn't understand fatherhood. Thank you, Kombucha. Said he also brought ESPN College Game Day to that raggedy city, but that wasn't enough. See, all of the things, you get problem solving on deck. He coming in, seeing, hey, listen, this is what's going on. Let's do this, y'all. Let's get this together, y'all. Come on, help me do this, y'all. Come on, listen, that's problem solving right there. We're gonna get these things in some kind of order. We're gonna get them in order today. Thank you, Fred Dorsey. A man, I told you, men give 4 P's either one-on-one or communally. And black men always do it. Don't tell me black men don't care. Don't tell me black men don't come back. It's these chicks that don't come back. They call themselves graduate. We the most educated. Y'all graduate, y'all get that little funky job, and y'all do not come back unless it involves your sorority and trying to hook some man for some D. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Because how many times we done heard stories from the AKAs and having these little, like, prostitution rings. You know, they kind of escorting. Too many stories. Them stories constantly break. I'm sorry if I done stepped on somebody's toes. Thank you, Tina. So I will be watching this on repeat with popcorn. Best show ever. Thank you so much, sweetheart. God don't never come back and give nothing back to nothing. You just take and you sup up everything. And then you just sit there like somebody owe you. Nobody owe you. And then black men come along and give they all. Give everything. You just want that man to just dry up and die. Just give his whole life to Jackson State. And at the end, Jackson State won't be no better than the day he came in there. And you know why he won't? You know why Jackson State won't be no better? They're going to go back down into the tubes after Deion is gone. Do you want to know why? Put a 1 in the chat if you want to know why. The reason why Jackson State is not going to be any better no matter what Deion came in there to do, and no matter how he did it, and no matter what he set in place, the reason they're not going to be any better is because they are stuck in the lost value system. He came in trying to instill a 10 life value system. And he came in trying to instill system, order, and structure. And he came in trying to reset their value system by introducing a bioculturon event single-handedly. Come in with the change in biology. We're going to change how we view each other. We're going to change what we do. We're going to change how we physically doing things. We're going to change how we actively do. We're going to change the culture around here. We're going to have one of excellence. We're going to be better. We're going to do better. And then we're going to change the environment. We're going to have, hey, clean up around here. We're going to change the physical environment. We're going to change how it look. We're going to change how it make us feel. And therefore, a value system will be born out of that. And they didn't take it. They didn't take it. That's why he really gone. That's why he said it ain't about a bag. That's why he said it's not a bag. You got to listen to what folks is saying. He said, not about a bag. I'm not broke. And the reason why, like I said, the reason why he ain't broke is because if he keep that mindset up, he ain't gonna never be broke. If he maintain being the door that swing both ways for currency, he ain't never gonna be broke. He came into Jackson State giving, not taking. Truth of the matter is, he headed over to Colorado giving, not taking. Because they want him to do what? Turn their program around. And they willing to pay him $5 million for his SOS. They willing to pay Deion Sanders $5 million for his implementation of his system, order, structure. They willing to pay for it. Because they value it. They have always valued, no matter how they tried to mistreat it on the back end, they have always valued black men's value system and their system's order and structure, because only black men give 4 P's the way black men give 4 P's. We don't be playing over here about no value system. We not playing. We are not playing. Now they're gonna pay him $5 million to do what? Mentor the men. And that's not to say ain't no black boys there, because black men pretty much dominate sports like the NFL and the NBA and stuff like that. So it's gonna be young black men that still benefit from Coach Prime. That's the help he tried to give. That's the help they rejected. Just like a hyena reject your problem solving. A hyena reject your provision. A hyena reject your protection. A hyena reject your procreation. You reject all that stuff. Come ask you for it, beg you for it. And then when black men come over there to give provision and problem solving and protection and procreation, then they spit in their face. Well, I don't need that. What you ask for it for? Yes, you do. You're just too stupid to take it. You're just too ornery to take it. Don't ask for it no more. Deion know when they trying to just use him and drain him. You're not going to do that to me. I ain't get this old not knowing the okie doke. That man is 55 years old. That is a grown man. And he is not sitting somewhere naive to the game. He just is trying to overlook your stupidity to give you a value system that you could work by whether he was there or not, and you could excel and succeed. If they had taken the value system, he wouldn't be leaving. He'd stay a little while longer, make sure it got implemented. But since he know your own foolishness and your own demon time and you don't want to do it, you ain't paying no attention to it, I'll go somewhere else with somebody to value what I'm doing. Thank you, Miss Alma. I said, this is epic. Prime gave them all he had and they spit in his face. Black women, pay attention. Some of us do the same to our men. Accept this and make the necessary changes. Thank you so much. And thank you for saying that, because that's really what I'm driving at and the connection that I'm trying to make today with this message. Thank you so much, Miss Almond. So Swing Out, thank you again, Swing Out. You're going to get one of these. They don't even have 5 million now, but they know their alumni will raise it quickly. They support their schools with loot, not just fancy talk. Thank you so much. Thank you, Frederick. Said prime time, not demon time. Exactly. Exactly. I don't want to hear this foolishness. Black men don't do nothing for the community. And black men, they don't come back. And black men don't pour nothing into it. And pour something into it according to these simps and these hyenas mean gimme all your money. And when the wealthy black men, the black men who have made it, the black men who understand what's going on, they understand the world, they understand how things work, and they try to come back to the community to educate it. Okay, I'll spend some money. I don't mind that. That's fine. However, I'm not going to just spend money. I'm not going to only spend money and shut up. I am not going to come into the middle of the community and just spill my pockets out with a gag on. I'm not. Because that is not help. That is not help. That is welfare. That is not help. Welfare and help is two different things. You want welfare or you want help? Thank you, Barry said, whatever happened to succession planning? The college used him and expected more of the same for race loyalty. Yeah. Try to shame him. Shaming language. To try to keep him. Ain't that a hyena or no? Try to use race and you supposed to do it for the culture. You know you're supposed to better yourself for the culture. What about that? I did come here for the culture. Came here to change the little trash culture you don't want to change. Nobody gonna sit there, waste my golden years. You better kick rocks with open toe shoes on. I'm supposed to waste my golden years with you. And you playing. Thank you again, Black Wizard said we wear dudes out like old shoes, talking down on them the whole time and get that surprise Pikachu face when they start looking for some gratitude. Right. Right. Thank you, Supreme 10 said all one has to do is look at Morris Brown, HBCU, years of fiscal management 20 years ago. Yeah. Strive for some excellence for the culture since we doing stuff for the culture. Change it. Change the culture. Better the culture. Do that for the culture. Nobody gonna sit there and just, make it rain on y'all. I just got to stand there and do that to you. What, we in a strip club? And then when I say, hey, well, after, we done made it rain, we ain't gonna make it rain no more for the next couple weeks. We might make it drizzle, but we not gonna make it rain. Now, while it's drizzling, I want you to listen to the SOS. What you talking about? We ain't got to do that. Oh, okay. I guess you don't want it to rain no more. Okay. Thank you, 39 Dina. We can go from a drizzle to a little fog in the air. It just be a little damp. He leaving to go to a white school. What difference do it make to you? He a sellout. You've been selling out to the lost value system. You've been a sellout. What we really saying? What we really talking about? You've been selling out. You stuck right now in the lost value system because you think everything is about a bag and playtime and leisure. That's where you at. And he's selling out because he going to the white school. And you got a white value system. So, thank you, Bureau. So the Deion Sanders situation shows how the community put lots of emotions into one person and place all their hopes into him. Mr. Atlas left for better. Exactly. Thank you, Ramel. Said, at first I was in my feelings, but I'm so happy he's taking his talents to Boulder. They will appreciate. Thank you so much. They don't like it when black men wisen up. It's, no. You've been playing. You've been playing. I've been trying to put my SOS over here. I'm trying to put this value system over here. I see you struggling. I know why you're struggling. It's not just money. You're struggling with everything. You're struggling with your values. If you could get them together, you wouldn't struggle for money. That's what he's trying to tell them. If you get your value system together, you wouldn't struggle with success in the football program or any of the other aspects of the school. You got to get your value system together first. You got to get your mindset right. You got to get your mind right. And then all of the other things come along with that, with success. You want to be failures. I'm not a failure. And I refuse one more moment with any of you trash bots. I'm out. You didn't pay him nothing but pennies, and then you didn't cherish him while he was there, so he couldn't get the money or the respect. Did y'all protect him when they was breaking in and stuff and stealing and stuff? What protection did he receive from JSU? What did he receive from them? What did he get from them? Tangible or intangible? What did they do? How did they reciprocate his energy to him? Ain't nobody got time for that. Thank you, Frederick said the people prefer a scandal instead of his move. Yeah. You know, I came there. I did what I could. Maybe some of the individual young men that he mentored will take his values and understand what he was trying to do, and they will make success in their lives, and I'm hoping that they do. But I'm glad he left. You stay nowhere where nobody gonna misuse you like that. He don't owe that. Black men do not owe that to the community on any level, to sacrifice and throw himself on the sword time and time and time and time and time again for not even a thank you, for not even the basic respect and courtesy that is due to the sacrifice. You don't even recognize and appreciate the sacrifice that somebody come make. That man is an older man. He could be somewhere with his toe popped all the way up, twiddling in the sunlight. Yet he's somewhere at Jackson State trying to get. Don't get me started again. Thank you, Ramel. So appreciate the A-game tip. Thank you so much. And thank you, IBM Mavericks. The whole time Brett Favre stealing from welfare. Yeah. Still ain't got no smoke for him. Black men do not owe ungrateful hyenas nothing. He's going where he can get some appreciation. He almost a passport bro. Thank you, Professor Carl. Said we always want the most for things we refuse to invest in. Yeah. Thank you again, Black Wizard. Said no appreciation unless you die. That's where we at. Exactly. And on that note, I'm not going to hold you. I am going to talk about how you can get your copy of my new book from the website crimsoncure.com. You can get Reclaiming the Black Feminine, the Lies of Feminism and the Road to Recovery on the website crimsoncure.com. It is a beautiful website. You'll definitely enjoy the beauty of it. It's visually stunning, and also all of the things that are going to be added to it in the future to make it even more interactive, even more beautiful. And this is just a wonderful way to go ahead and grab your copy of the book. So I definitely appreciate everyone's support of the book. So many sales. It's y'all see I get tongue tied. Y'all see I get tongue tied. It's humbling and well appreciated. All of the support that you all give me every single day. I accept and I appreciate your gifts, your contributions through Super Chat, through Cash App, through PayPal, or however you give it, your likes, your speaking in the chat, your engagement. All of that means so much to me. And I will always strive to bring you value in the content, give you something that you can really hold on to and sink your teeth into, and something that you can be proud to support. And I say that not only from myself, but I say that also from my support team, because they spend so much time and effort and energy and resources to bring us these awesome commercials, to bring A-Game, to bring, you know, all of the website, to make the book possible, to make it possible to be on Amazon and launch, and all of these wonderful, wonderful things. And we got so many things in the works for you guys. I'm so excited. This is a really exciting time for all of us. So I thank you so much. And I thank that support team that I'm talking about, because they are absolutely phenomenal. Okay? Thank you once again, Swing Outs. I enjoyed this. It was edifying. Peace from Dallas. Thank you so much. And with that being said, I am going to wrap this up, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, Crimsonites. Hey, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.